Why does the love that we want the most always feel the hardest to get? You try to say the right things, to never be too much, to be easy to love. You put their needs first, often completely ignoring your own, hoping that they'll notice you, hoping that they'll choose to be with you. But instead, they pull away, they grow distant, and you feel more and more anxious. You start to wonder if you've done something wrong or if there's actually something wrong with you. And it makes you try even harder to give them more. And yet, after all of this effort, it only seems to make them colder. Now, this was exactly what every relationship was like for me. For over 20 years, I thought it was just me. Maybe I was too emotional. Maybe I cared too much. Maybe I just was hard to love. So I kept shrinking. I tried harder, hoping somebody would finally choose me. And every time it ended, I blamed myself. But the truth is, I wasn't bad at love, and neither are you. We were just taught a version of love that was never true. Somewhere along the way, we started to believe that love is something you have to work for. And if we worked hard enough, maybe, just maybe, they would stay. And we would finally feel the love that we've always longed for. But when this belief takes root, it doesn't just shape your relationships, it shapes how you see yourself. And if you don't see this wound clearly, it will distort everything you see, and you'll live from inside the wound and continue to repeat it. Meaning you'll keep attracting people who make you feel like you have to prove you're lovable. You'll keep bending and bending until you break just to feel chosen. And you'll keep losing parts of yourself hoping to avoid being left. But what if I told you you are never meant to love like this? Because this isn't a flaw in you, it's a survival strategy. You were taught to trade pieces of yourself for scraps of love. And you believe that if you give enough, one day, you can be loved the way you've always wanted. Now, this creates an urgency and a panic to keep trying to make yourself fit in places that aren't good for you. So you soften your voice, you shrink your needs, you shapeshift into someone you think will be easier to love. It's like trying to force yourself into a puzzle you were never meant to fit in. You start cutting off your own edges, bending your truth, sanding down parts of you that feel too loud, too much, too inconvenient. And maybe this works for a moment. They stop pulling away. They start to show you some affection. They show up for you the way you want for a little bit. But deep down, something feels off, because it is. Love isn't something to be earned. You weren't made to fit into somebody else's broken version of love. You were meant to belong to yourself. And the more you edit yourself to be accepted, the more invisible you become, even to yourself. And here's the most heartbreaking part. When you edit yourself to be loved, trying to earn it, you lose the very thing you want the most, to be loved for who you are. The truth is, the love you keep chasing can't be reached while you're abandoning yourself to earn it. Real love doesn't begin when you find someone who finally sees your worth. It begins when you start to value your own needs and give yourself space and permission to fully express yourself. When you stop performing, when you stop proving, when you stop making yourself small to be chosen, that is where something shifts. Because real love, the kind of love that stays, that nourishes, that makes you feel safe, can only happen when you're authentically you. You never have to earn it. You only have to receive it. But receiving love requires you staying with yourself. And that love begins when you are no longer willing to leave yourself for the sake of somebody else's approval. You are not bad at love. You were taught that love required your disappearance. And that's okay to let that version go. Real love will never ask you to do that. It will ask you to be more and more authentically yourself. You're allowed to be loved without performing. You're allowed to be seen without shrinking. And when you do, you stop chasing love and you start receiving it, the way that you've always deserved. Now, breaking the habit of earning love is a major part in finding the love you crave, but it's just one part. Because if you don't know what your heart actually needs, you'll keep looking for love in all the wrong places. That's why in this next video right here, I'm going to show you exactly how to identify your core emotional needs. This makes decisions and choices so much easier, so you can finally find the love that feels like home. So click right here and don't waste time like I did.